Okay, so we're back to tire repair. This is a simple repair. Nothing too bad. I have a sidewall crack in a BKT 650/65R42 tire, Agramax. I actually like these tires. They came on this tractor. I bought it in 2011. I put several thousand hours on them. I'm really more than thrilled to have them on here. I have BKTs I put on the front, and Crazy Asian just showed up. But here's the crack, right here. It's not through the cord by any means, but it is. My father saw it, and he's like, hey, you know, you may want to get that thing under control before it becomes a problem. So what we're going to do is, I've got my vulcanizing kit there, and I've got my tire grinder right there, and I'm going to go ahead and grind it right down to unaffected rubber. And from there, I'm going to build it back up and vulcanize the damn thing. And that should do it. So wherever Tim put my tripod, I'm going to put this up on the tripod and you can take a look at that. Alrighty, here we go. Okay, so Teresa brought me lunch, and Joe lunch, and Tim lunch, and something to drink. But this tire is really not bad at all. It's about, I'd say it's probably 45-50% rub tread left on it. And for the road travel that we do, I usually run these things right down to the point where there's only 20% left. And the fact that this tire is very, very expensive, that's why I'm spending the time to repair it. So, yeah. I can't do much else anyway. I mean, it's not like I can get out in the fields and do anything. I was supposed to be picking up corn fodder, you know, and baling corn fodder, but that shit ain't happening. As a matter of fact, the guy's corn is still standing in the field. So what am I supposed to do? You know, so we fix tires and we work on equipment and we do the things that we can do, like make videos and shit like that. So, and that piece of metal that I was just handling there, that is what Timothy is working on a project with the big blast heater, that 600,000 BTU heater. The diffuser in the front of it had broken out, so it was gone when we got the thing, and that I called the machine the asphyxiator, because you work around it and within 5 minutes you're like getting lightheaded and stupid because of all the fumes, and you don't smell it, but it just, you knew there was some carbon, or CO2, or not CO2, what do you mean, carbon monoxide, that's what I'm trying to say. So anyways, when you're working a tire like this, you really have to get down to the meat of it. And I mean really through the entire crack, because if you don't get through the entire crack, you're wasting your time. It will just continue to break apart through the new fix that you've done. And there is a type of rubber cement that you have to use. It is virgin rubber cement, not the cold vulcanizing cement, so don't make that mistake if you're going to do this. And yes, Teresa, it does come to the farm. William was asleep in the car. It was brutally cold that day, windy, nasty, and it's windy and nasty out there right now too. But anyway, you have to get down to the cord, down to where the damage is, remove the damage, lay in the new cement, and then start layering rubber, and then you get to do what I'm doing. All right, so again, we've cooked this tire. We're cooking this tire now. We're about 35 minutes from being completely done with it. Yeah, and that's it. I don't know what else to say about it. These tires they were new in 2010. They still got pretty decent tread on them, I would say. I can't complain about them. They are very expensive tires, though. And I don't see any other cracks in these things. Is this one starting? What is this? No, that's just... I'm looking for cracks in them because I'm nervous. You know, when a tire gets old, they start to get hard. And when they get hard, that's when you get a crack in them. So I'm really surprised that that one is cracked like that. It's really strange. They don't normally crack like that. But yeah. Now we could talk a little bit about tires here that are, you know, maybe a lot of people don't understand or realize, but different tire compositions and different thicknesses. You know, you have your load range or the load weight rating. They used to have them, there used to be a star rating with a radial tire, and then they did away with the star rating, and before that it was, you know, it was a, what the heck did they use? I forget. It was the load ply rating. They would use a ply rating before. So you could buy a 4-ply tire, 4-ply tire for, like, say, a 4010 or a 4020. They were ridiculously cheap. They didn't last. They were really for small farms, hobby farms, homeowners, things like that. 6-ply rated tires were okay. They were a little bit better than what, say, an 8-ply. And then if you really spent the money on a 12-ply tire, 10 or 12-ply tire, that's when you got your money out of them. And those were in the old bias ply tires. Now, and maybe they still do the bias ply tires with a ply rating versus the radial tires. But they did away with the star rating, and they came up with this little thing here, right here. So I'm not 100% sure whether I know this is the composite, and this is basically the ply rating. So when you have a 165D or a 168 over A3 or A8, that's an A8. 165D is your ply rating. Now, at least that's what it was explained to me. You can go over to, say, this baler here that's brand new, and you can find that number. These are 146Ds. All right. So when I bought the new tires for the other Krone baler, and even the front tires on yeah, think about this. I'm gonna get my light. I'm gonna turn my light on here, so be patient. Oh, come on. Okay. So here's a brand new tire. This is a Vredestein tire, and those 146s or 140, whatever the hell they were. This is a 152D, 148D. This is a 152D. So when I did purchase the new tire, the replacement tires for that baler, I went with the 152D because they're just heavier and they're more durable. So these tires here are the 146s. These are 146D, and you know, it doesn't surprise me that this 168 or 165D tire is still on here after, let's see, 8 years, because that's a heavy-duty tire. A lot of the BKT tires are in that 143, I think 146 and 153. I've never seen a 165. It kind of surprises me. So that explains, because the composite in this rubber is really tough. and it's a heavy tire, so it's a pretty heavy, durable tire. So that's some of the ratings of these tires. Now, I'm not an expert. Don't take me as an expert, but I do change enough of these damn things to know a few things about them, like the date. Where's the date on this one? It's on the inside, I bet. I know where it is on the other side. Let me see. I know this is a 2010. It's like a 47 2010. So the 47th, here it is. There it is. Maybe you can see that. 47th week of 10. So it's 4710. That was the 47th week of 2010. So it's close to 2011. That's when it was made. So this tire, I bought this tractor, and these tires were fairly new when I bought this tractor. And I bought it in the spring of 11, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the spring of 2011. So whoever, they put them on probably in the winter, ran the tractor for a little while, sold the tractor, and then I picked it up back in 2011. And it's been a good tractor. Actually, it's been a very good tractor. I don't have any problems with the 8120. I think it's a great tractor. One of the better purchases that I've made. I do notice there's a little bit of shiny paint there. There's a hydraulic oil leak in the number one SCV there. So that's going to have to be addressed and dealt with. Addressed and dealt with. But what time is it? We're getting close. We've got to be getting close to this thing. You don't want to rush a tire, but I don't want to leave it here cooking. It is now 5:37. I could probably put that, I just don't want to leave it cooking, you know? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, but anyways, with this tire, these things are like $4,000 a piece, especially with that ply rating. $4,000 a piece for these freaking tires, and you know, there it is. It's or $3,000 and change. So there it is. You know, there's anywhere between $6,000 and $8,000 for the rear tires on this tractor, and I just don't feel like spending that kind of money over a crack. So, you know, this thing comes out, and it saves me a lot of money. Yeah, thanks, Tim. It saves me a lot of money when I use it, especially when I'm successful with it. And no, I will not be putting air to this thing until tomorrow after it's nice and cool and nice and cured out. When I shut this off, I'm not even going to disconnect it. I'm going to let it cool naturally on the with the clamp on it. So tomorrow morning it's done. It's completely done. And then I'm going to put a patch on the inside where the crack was, not because it didn't go through the cord. There's several layers of cord in this thing. The most outermost layer of cord was damaged, but it wasn't cut all the way through until I hit it with the grinding wheel. So, you know, I'm not really worried about that, but it isn't going to hurt to throw a patch in there just to strengthen that particular area if it has worked the rubber on the inside. Because when you get a crack, what happens is a crack opens and closes, opens and closes. Like a tire flexes, and as long as it's flexing consistently, it's not weak. It's the same tension on the outside of the tire, you know, all the way around until you get a crack. So when you get that crack, it just opens and closes and puts a lot of stress in that area. And I think I caught it, or my father actually caught it. He's the one that saw it. And so I think we caught this thing at a decent time, and we have avoided a lot of trouble. I did fill that. There's two different types of gum. You have treadwall gum and you have sidewall gum. Sidewall gum is much more flexible than treadwall gum. Or, treadwall. It's cushion gum. They call it cushion gum. So I put the sidewall gum in there because I should have put some cushion gum over the top of it, but I did not because it's okay. It won't matter. It's you know, all it's got to do is protect the rest of the inner workings of the tire. So, and I think we're going to accomplish that. There's the last tire that I did is still here. I haven't put it on yet, and I'm not going to cut any tread into it. I don't need to. You know, where the hell is that thing? So this here, I did cushion gum on the inside, and then on the you know, all the way in, and then I laid 2 strips of sidewall gum for flexibility inside of it. and then I laid the cushion gum over the top of it. The rippling that you see in there, that's from the aluminum foil. So when I laid aluminum foil over top of that thing and pressed it in, the aluminum foil actually made those ripples. Is somebody coming in here? No. So, and I'm okay with that. That tire's fixed. I could put that right back on the wagon and go for broke. I'm perfectly fine with that. And this is actually a Michelin recap. Can you believe that? That's a Michelin recap. No wonder it was such a bastard to get all ground through. They're good recaps. I had Continental recaps on those over there. I know a lot of people don't like recaps, but you know what? I guarantee you're not the ones buying these tires. So anyways, with that, I guess we're done. And I'll probably show you that in the morning. Right, Tim?